Hello everyone, in this video you will learn how to answer referencing questions in paper 1. Now we are going to look at a paragraph about extreme sports. Extreme sports are getting more and more popular all over the world. Extreme sports are thrilling to watch too. However, extreme sports are highly risky and even life-threatening. Even with strict safety measures, many serious accidents have occurred. How do you feel about this paragraph? I think it sounds quite clumsy because the noun phrase extreme sports is repeated for so many times. So, in our reading passages, usually we can find different noun phrases describing the same thing, just like this one. Extreme sports, also known as action sports such as rock climbing and snowboarding, are getting more and more popular all over the world. They are thrilling to watch too. However, these activities are highly risky and even life-threatening. Even with strict safety measures, many serious accidents have occurred. From this paragraph, can you find 3 noun or noun phrases that mean extreme sports? Here you can find 3 different noun phrases or nouns are used to describe extreme sports. For example, action sports, another name for extreme sports, the pronoun they, and these activities. These 3 noun phrases are actually talking about the same thing, that is extreme sports. And in paper 1, you are going to decode these noun phrases or pronouns. So when we work on this type of question, we need to pay attention to synonyms, that means words with similar meanings, pronouns, and of course, paraphrasing expressions. So how can we make sure that our answers are in the correct forms? In this video, I'm going to tell you 5 exam skills. Exam skill number 1. You need to pay attention to the questions. Are you required to find a singular noun or a plural noun? For example, this boy, then the answer must be a singular noun. And for these boys, it is a plural noun. So you need to write more than one noun. Now, let's look at this example. You can pause the video for a while to find out the answers. For question number 1, what does the sport refer to? So let's read the first sentence together. David Beckham was one of the greatest football players of our time and is still a role model for the sport. So obviously the sport refers to football. So the sport is a singular noun, so the answer must be a singular noun. So football should be correct. Number 2, who or what does the pronoun them refer to? He stayed with them until 2003. So we need to read the sentence before the sentence. Born in London in the UK, Beckham loved football and the football team Manchester United. He stayed with them. So them should be referring to the football team, Manchester United. So when we are talking about a team, it can be a plural noun when we are referring to the group of people within the team. But the perfect answer for this question is members of Manchester United. Of course, you can omit members of and just write down Manchester United. That is also correct. And number 3, it should be very easy. Other big European teams, namely, so just copy these 3 teams. Exam skill number 2, adding apostrophe s or s apostrophe. When you are writing the references of these possessive adjectives, then you need to add apostrophe s or s apostrophe. So when it is singular, then apostrophe s. For example, this is Mr. Lam's photo. And for plural, then we need to add the apostrophe after the s. So there are some special cases. So for plural nouns without s or es, then we still use apostrophe s, just like the children's. And for some nouns ending with s, like class, if it is singular, then s apostrophe s. If it is plural, the classes, then the apostrophe is added at the end of the word. Now let's look at this question. What does his in line 6 refer to? You can stop the video to try to find out the answer. To his fans, he was a success in the sport and in many other areas. So obviously, this whole passage is about Beckham, and he obviously refers to Beckham. So, to his fans, his should be Beckham, apostrophe s. How about this one? A great score doesn't help fans forget their everyday problems. There, what does there refer to? You can stop the video to try to find out the answer. So, the everyday problems should be the fans' everyday problems. So the answer should be the fans. But this time, fans is a plural noun, so s apostrophe. Of course, you can write a great score's fans. Exam skill number 3. When the answer is an action, which means it is a verb, then remember to change the verb into the ing form, that is, gerund. Let's look at this very simple example. Mr. Lam loves playing badminton. I love it too. So what does it refer to? Obviously, it refers to the action playing badminton. So the answer should be playing with verb in ing form, badminton. Now let's look at a past paper question. In 2012 Part B1, what does the job refer to? We couldn't have finished the job without the help of the local community. So what couldn't have been finished without the help of the local community? When you look at paragraph 10, you can find out that the job refers to the action of sewing the pages together. So, to answer this question, remember you need to add ing so that the answer is in the form of a noun. So the answer would be sewing the pages together. It will be wrong if you just write down sew. How about this one? What does the task in line 23 refer to? When you read closely, accomplishing the task in a matter of hours. So, it usually takes Yang and her co-workers many days to transform a heap of clay fragments into a full-size warrior. But today, they are lucky, accomplishing the task in a matter of hours. So, this task refers to transforming a heap of clay fragments into a full-size warrior. Again, remember to use verb plus ing. Transforming a heap of clay fragments into a full-size warrior. Exam skill number 4, adding that. When the answer is a sentence, remember to add the word that at the beginning of the sentence, because a sentence is not a noun. For example, I think our students can have a better result in HKDSE. Many agree with that. What does that refer to? that should refer to the idea of our students can have a better result in Hong Kong HKDSE. So the answer should be that the students or our students, but we'll talk about the use of possessive adjectives and pronouns in the answers later, that the students can have a better result in HKDSE. When you add the word that before the sentence, the whole sentence becomes a noun phrase. This is a magic. So let's look at this example in 2013 part B1. What does this assumption refer to? So this assumption seems fair. So what assumption? Let's look at paragraph 3. We had this idea that Facebook could be a fantastic place for people to strengthen their relationships, said Samantha Forrest of the University of Waterloo in Ontario, Canada. This assumption seems fair. So this assumption should be referring to the idea that Facebook could be a fantastic place for people to strengthen their relationships. Remember, you must copy the word that, because this assumption is a noun phrase, so the answer must be a noun. So the answer would be that Facebook could be a fantastic place for people to strengthen their relationships. How about this one? What does that in line 5 refer to? This one? That doesn't make much sense. What doesn't make much sense? Let's look at paragraph 1. Many people listen to music while they are carrying out a task, whether they are studying for an exam, driving a vehicle, or even reading a book. Many of these people argue that background music helps them focus. When you think about it, that doesn't make much sense. So that should be referring to the idea that background music helps them focus. Okay, so there are two traps in this question. Trap number 1, you must add the word that at the beginning of the answer because you need a noun phrase. So that background music helps. Trap number 2, try not to write any pronouns in this type of questions. So them, what does them refer to? Them here should be referring to people. So that background music helps people focus. Don't write them. This leads to the final exam skill. Remember, try to avoid pronouns in your answers for referencing questions. When you find that the answer includes these pronouns, try to find out what they are actually referring to. And for these type of possessive adjectives, the easiest way is to replace these words by the. And of course, the best answer would be to try to find out what these words refer to. So this is the end of this video. Thank you.